All right, Jake. So, what car did you have when we first met?
When we first met,
Yeah.
I had a 1990 R32 GTST.
GTST.
Gray HC R32. Whoa! It's a four-door sedan.
And what was the style with it? Like, what was your goals, plans?
That's a good question. I want to do the small wheel thing. I swapped from 5-lug to 4-lug, which was kind of a bad idea. But I basically took GTE brakes and hubs and all that and swapped to 4-lug so I could be 4x114. I was eventually going to do a S13 swap for the suspension. So if you don't know, Skylines are double wishbone and you run into limitations just like an EF. You hit your uppers and stuff and you can't really go that low. And obviously S13s are McPherson, so they can go like super low, lots of camber. And I was basically turning the car into an S13. It started giving me a bunch of trouble and I started learning some things about the car that I didn't know when I bought it. And I went to trade it for Richard Cathead, his S13. We ended up not trading, and then I was like, man, I want an S13, and I was like, man, I don't really like this car that much anymore. And yeah, that's pretty much where my story with that ended.
So kind of, it's kind of funny, like it had RB20 in it, right?
RB20 DET, yeah.
And how I met the kid was Landon started coming around, you know Landon. Then Jake started coming around up at the shop. And we kind of did a little work to the Skyline there at the shop. A lot of his plugs and things like that had corrosion. It was getting bad connections here and there. And it just kind of spiraled from there, right? Like just issues.
I was having an issue. Well, I had an issue to the day I sold the car. It would run and then randomly it would just like cut out. Like I would have throttle and then I would have no throttle input. Like I could floor it and nothing. It was like it bogged super bad. And we thought it was a fuel pump, and me and Ryan, I have a memory of us going to the Napa truck. What was it? What's that place called in Baxter?
Yeah, it's the Napa Auto Parts in Baxter. It's the truck stop. So like.
Yeah, we bought a trailer plug. I don't think we ended up using the trailer plug, but I still had it. But we basically we wired up all the stuff. I got a Aeromotive fuel pump, 340 Stealth, whatever it's called. We thought it was that. Changed that out, did all the wiring on that. That was really good. That's probably one of the best wiring things on the car. But after that, no, that didn't fix it. And
it ran a little better though, didn't it?
Slightly, probably
Slightly,
a little bit.
Yeah.
And then somehow, it definitely wasn't me. One of the plugs stripped out of the head. And that was a pain in the ass. I had to do that in the Durham parking lot over spring break, I think. And I had to tap out the head with a thread chaser kit. Oh, I chased the thread first and there was nothing. There was no thread. I still have the spark plug. I wish I had a picture of it with all the threads on it. And then I ended up running a bigger tap in it and put a thread saver. Like a threaded insert in the head, and yeah, that didn't change anything. I think what happened is it was running wrong in general, and I think one of the spark plugs was loose, and then it ended up like 5-4s that blow the spark plugs out of the head or whatever.
So what we think is it kind of like lifted the plug and pulled the threads.
Yeah, it like blew the spark plug out of the head. Yeah. After that. Whoever's watching this, if you buy my car, I think it's in Ohio, for $24,000, massive L. I just hope you know.
So the Skyline was like little wheels, and we'll put pictures of it in here, like through the process of talking about this.
Lots of little wheels. I think I bought 3 different sets of little wheels for that car.
And like it was super cool. Like the Skyline, we make it sound like it's so horrible, but it was honestly like a fun car. Like you had fun in that car.
It was cool.
And the kid went from that to like, what do you drive currently?
A 1991 E-Attach.
So he went
for
from
$500.
He went from a right-hand drive imported R32 with an RB20 in it, welded diff, 5-speed car, Fun as hell to drive.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I don't know what happened, but maybe I influenced him a little bit. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I influenced him just a little bit with all the Honda stuff.
I did. I had the EF when I had the Skyline. The original plan was for me to get the hatch and daily the hatch, and then fix the Skyline. But the Skyline never got fixed, and the hatch just sat up here. So yeah.
I think once Jake, like when he got the car, it needed the brakes, and like the brakes did not work at all.
The brakes worked when I got it.
They were just
kind of.
They were bad. They looked like cheetah print on the front rotors. Like it looked like someone had taken and dremeled them out to make it look like cheetah print.
Yeah.
And I remember like first memory of you working on that car, we put brakes on it, and you were like, "This thing's stupid easy to work on." And like just looking at the suspension, you were like,
"Well, no, that night we put brakes and my coilovers on and my drop forks. I think.
Yeah.
And everything like you were saying with the EFs, how they're like the rear suspension is always like locked up, like stuck together, and that car was just like no issue. Everything on that entire car has been so easy. It's like dumb easy. So I'm gonna say that, and then it's gonna be.
So the swap's gonna be hard, yeah.
The swap's gonna be hell.
So what are your plans with the hatch? Like we know you've kind of went through it maintenance wise and suspension wise and done some things.
B16, A2. That's the plan right now. Obviously, that's gonna happen. Besides that, I like the small wheels right now. I've got a full set finally of 4x100 SSR Mark IIs, and I don't know, they're 14s, and one set or one pair is a lot wider than the other, and I'm not sure if I want to keep that or if I want to go up to like a 16 or a 15, because obviously with this the car is going to be a lot faster and a lot more fun to drive than it would be with the D series, because the small wheels kind of make you stay stancy, and this will be like more of a, like a sporty car, I guess.
So what do you have going on for like suspension and stuff on that already?
I have BC Extreme Lows that I got on a pretty good deal. Was it you or Jared?
I think Jared tagged you in it.
One of my Honda dads plugged me up with the BC Extreme Lows off of a wagon and NPC drop forks in the front. It's got the flipped True Heart tie rods. eBay upper control arms.
We just had those laying around, so don't judge us. And we got Knuckles. We called Beavers, Beavers Honda Salvage, and he's got Knuckles for the swap and plans to do rear disc maybe. Yeah, he wants to do rear disc.
Definitely rear disc.
So that for now.
I have some other plans for it, like, and eventually I want to do everything from the driver's seats back. Like I want to keep my carpet up to the back of the driver's seats, and then everything behind the driver's seats I want to tear it all out and like mat it, and then do like the carpet back in it. And I want to do like a full cage, if not like a half cage, probably for the interior. Obviously seats and harnesses. For the exterior, I think I'm going to do charge speed everything. So charge speed lip, charge speed wing. I'm not sure on the mid wing, I don't think so. Probably not side skirts at first. But.
Cool. So who or what inspires your style? Like you had a certain style you went with on the Skyline, and
that's a good question. And I don't want to flatter Richard too much, but I think a long time ago, not a long time ago, but like 2.5 years ago, I was at Import Alliance and I saw Richard's car for the first time.
Which one?
Like the first small wheel car I'd ever seen.
Was it his wagon or was it?
It was the Sylvia.
Oh, it was the Sylvia.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the Sylvia. It had the equips on the 40s, and I was like, man, that's a cool car. I was like, I want my car to look like that. And I had a Miata at the time, and obviously all wheels on Miatas, just like Civics are like small wheels. And after that, I found his Instagram. I figured out who he was. I was like, man, I want my car to be like that. And then I found like Moist Boys and stuff like that. I kind of figured out what that style was, like the Kyusha, like old cars, small wheels, kind of stuff like that. I like the vintage aesthetic, I guess. Of
More
course.
period correct type stuff.
Yeah,
And
I'm not completely period correct, but like period correct with style, and I wouldn't say there's like too many things that.
so this is probably what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Richard's car in this era,
yeah.
which I mean, his car still looks amazing.
I have the video from Snapchat if we want to put it in.
We can
like,
put it in
of
there,
the First time I saw his car.
I remember whenever he got his wheels, and I actually got the sedan ready for Riverside. It was the week before Riverside, and I think I had put my BBSs on that I had rebuilt, and he had his works that he just put on, you know, and it was just, we parked outside the what was it, Five Guys. I think I have some pictures of it, and it just
I've seen those pictures. I think
it just solidified the idea of like small wheels for me, at least on the sedan.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
which I know
This is not really like, I wouldn't call this a small wheels car.
no, the CRX, I don't know, my blue car definitely made me appreciate bigger wheels on these cars because no one ever does it. But it's definitely one car that carries them pretty well, like with the kit and everything. But yeah, like your style, like I love the little wheels and stuff like that. This kid's had more little wheels than I know anybody else. Like
I've had a lot of little wheels.
you had what were the
We
five?
could put like a picture montage in there.
Yeah, so you had the first set of little wheels you put on there was which one's the Skyline?
I had a really super sick 5-lug 5x114 set of SSR Dory mesh, and they were the what do they call it? It's something Kaiichi Garage, I think. It's like the Kaiichi Tsuchiya is like, I guess it's his brand kind of, but I don't really know if he's involved in it or not. But it had like the super sick center caps that said all that stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
I had those, and they ended up being way too aggressive for the car. I would have had to like pull my fenders or get over fenders.
They were cool. And
That's
then
not my style.
you actually had a set of Watts that come off of whose was
They
it?
came off of oh my gosh, what's his name?
The blue one, or was it the gray Skyline?
You have to cut. Hold on, I gotta figure it out.
And we're back from putting Jake on the spot.
I got it from Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson. He has the black R32 coupe in it. I think he made like, I think that car made like 500 something horsepower.
That's crazy. He's
On 15s.
On 15s. That
Yeah.
car's got to be rowdy.
He's had like meshes and stuff, but those watts came off his car and they fit my car perfect.
It was
I
great.
mean,
I remember putting those on that night, and you were just like, it made the car look so cool.
oh yeah. I was driving home that night and did we lower it that night?
Yeah, we lowered and
did.
lined it, everything.
We lowered it and we welded the eBay control arms together.
Oh my god.
And I was driving it home, and there's this road in Cookeville where like each pothole was like just barely above the road. And I was driving down the road, and it was like, tink, tink, tink. I was hitting my exhaust on like every single one of them. I was like, yes, this is sick.
And then what'd you have after that? You had a set of work.
Before that, I had work Equip 03s.
See, Equip 03s, those, I liked them on the car. They look good on the car.
Equip 03s are hit or miss, so I wouldn't call Equip 03s my style. That's like a new whittle wheel.
New whittle wheel.
New whittle wheel.
They're cute little things.
Yeah, that's like the Equip lineup is kind of hit or miss with me.
It has to
Richard's
be.
car is great because the Equip 40s are just sick.
It has to be done like just perfectly, you know. It has to. The car has to hold that style true and true, like
Yeah.
front to back, inside and out, for me to like them.
Yeah, my car was nice on them because of how aggressive they were.
And they fit good.
They fit good, and the tire size was like nice.
Yeah.
That car was good then, and then of course, like usual, we lowered it too much and ruined it.
Now, and another thing is like I liked it on the S14 stocks too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it looked. I mean, it just looked like a party car at that point.
that was sick.
And then you've had on the hatch, since we're still on this wheel thing. Which wheels have you had for the hatch so far?
I've had Hoshino Impulse, Inky Easy Riders, I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
I had, so all three, or these that I'm naming right now, were all 4x114. my original idea was I was going to run adapters, and our
Or math.
our math on the adapters wasn't quite right. I had a 13-inch set of Inky Easy Riders, which are like, they're kind of like a Datsun stock almost. And then another 13-inch set of Mark II SSRs, Mark II. Those didn't fit, obviously. None of those fit. But we didn't get the right tires for them either.
Yeah, we did the math for 15 and up tire size, and we didn't account for not having a small enough tire, so you could put them on there. It would have took like -5 degrees, 6 degree camber to fit them, which obviously with the B16 in mind isn't going to happen.
No.
It could, but
I still have those wheels. I have the Mark IIs and the Easy Riders if anybody wants to buy them.
mini truck.
Oh, yeah. That's right. And then I also had the Primes.
The Primes were
400. I just sold those to my friend Chase. They're on his CRX now, so they're still on an EF.
The
And
Primes
now-
definitely, like, I love the Primes.
The Primes are sick. I bought a pair of Mark IIs that are they're like stripped almost, like the faces are stripped with paint, and they're kind of rough. But I bought them for $500 on Facebook, which is like unheard of to find 4x100 Mark IIs. They're like kind of hard to find in a decent spec. And then I bought the other two from my friend Blake. He has a Miata, so yeah.
Yep. So that clears up most of the wheel stuff. I guess.
I wish I could even remember I can remember all the stuff for the Miata.
Yeah, the Miata will have to be a completely different day.
The Miata wheels.
Yeah, we'll have to go over that because that's like a gold mine in itself. I want to hear more about the Miata too. That was before my time.
Just slightly.
And before like the Spicy Boys United. So, but that's cool. I mean, I guess that kind of brings us up to date. You've got the Mark IIs on currently, and we're planning this B swap. So we'll have that to come too. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I know Jake's going to enjoy the heck out of it.
I am going to enjoy it. I hope so.
And if you've stuck around this long, we'll give you an update on a few things too. So we appreciate you guys.